Good afternoon and welcome to Critical Mass with me, your host, Rob. Boy, do we got a good show for you guys today, I hope. So if you don't know, Saturday I went to Boston to attend the No Kings rally. And well, first of all, let's dispel any myths. The mainstream media video that you saw, the overhead, was not from that day. It was from a rally. I said it was from 2017. Somebody said it was 2018. I don't care whether it's 2017 or 2018. The fact is, it wasn't it. And what's more surprising and telling is that mainstream media didn't even need to lie about it. Because I have more than enough footage to show that there was at least 100,000 people there. That field was full. There was other spots that the cameras didn't show people. Like a tent row was one of them. They didn't show the monument in the center that I was sitting at, that's where Antifa was. There was. It was way more than you can imagine. So mainstream media, per mainstream media, of course, that's all they know is how to lie and inflate their numbers, kind of like the 2020 election. But sorry, I'm getting over something from being around that many dirty, disgusting old people. And that's what the bulk of it was. A bunch of geriatric, fixident using, Depends wearing silverbacks. And they were busting. I saw the buses. I'm sure I have video of the buses too, and there were a lot of those buses. And when you hear the left say, we don't need to bus people in. Somebody says improper gain staging on my microphone, which means I assume it means it's too loud. If it wasn't for audio issues and me, I don't know. Let's try that. And so there were thousands upon thousands upon thousands of old people there, like boomers. And even though they were bussed in, you could tell that the majority of them truly wanted to be there. They wanted to relive the 60s and the hippie movement and all that bullshit. Because there was not one that I saw anywhere. There was not one like professionally printed sign. These are all these women's in their, these women in their arts and crafts at the old age home decided that these are the signs that they were going to make. But more than that, I have to say I was impressed. Now, most people will take that because they're lazy and say, oh my God, Patriot Rob is shilling for the left. No, I can say something is impressive while not agreeing with it. The turnout was impressive. It was impressive because the right can't do it. We do not show up like this. And before anybody goes, well, we have jobs and we have families and we have this. It was on a Saturday. We had 3,000 people plus, give or take, for the Charlie Kirk vigil like 3 weeks before that. And it was at night. And more people should have shown up, more conservatives. And we just don't. We're too busy cutting our own dicks off over the tiniest little fucking things that we don't agree with. And this is the reason why we take loss after loss after loss. Now, you could say, well, Rob, we didn't lose. We have the House, we have the Senate, and we have President Trump. Okay. But look at this. Do you think that we should just rest on our laurels? Do you think we should just sit back and be like, oh, well, we won? if we do that, I mean, the way it looks to me right now, we're going to take a spanking in 26. That's the reality of the situation. Because we're getting complacent because we got what we want, but we don't know how to keep it. And you can look back through history. We don't know how to keep it because we can't come together the way the left does. They all have one goal in mind, and that's getting rid of Trump, getting rid of all of us, all of the fascists and all of the Nazis and all of the transphobes and every other ism and phobe that they can think of and throw our way. They are in lockstep with one another on this. I'm sure there's plenty of them that disagree with one another, but they put all that shit aside for the main mission and the main goal. And we can't. We're too busy bitching about this and bitching about that, and I don't like this one, and I don't like this one, and this one's not this, and this one's not Christian enough, and I'm over it. I'm done. I'm over the bullshit. I don't care about you and your fucking feelings. I never have. And I'm going to continue to not care about your fucking feelings because when they can come together like this, that massive on a crowd on a Saturday afternoon from noon to 3, and we could barely get in Boston, the entirety of Massachusetts, we can barely get 3,000 people, 3,500, maybe. It's embarrassing, and you should be embarrassed. You should feel like shit that you let all of these little things come between you and us and our ultimate goal. And you say, well, Rob, what is the ultimate goal? Well, the ultimate goal is to bring back a spirit of American exceptionalism that's been missing for a very long time. MAGA is a movement, and it's our movement. Trump just may be the figurehead, but it's our movement. We own that movement, and it's up to us to maintain it. We can't sit on our asses anymore. We have to get out there. You have to do the fucking hard work. You can't just sit on your ass and expect everybody else to do it for you. These people didn't. I will guarantee you that there was over 100,000 people there. And when all the video comes out, we're still editing it because there's 6 hours of video. And if you don't know anything about editing video, it takes you an entire day to do like a 3.5 minute fucking cut together video if you're going to do it properly. I mean, Penn's been working on all of these clips that I have all day today, and I absolutely fucking love her and respect her for putting in the work to do this. So we got there at 10 o'clock in the morning to do like gear check and meet up with people and to see what it was, and there really wasn't many people there. And about 11 o'clock, we started seeing the bus show up and all the geriatric patients coming off of it. And we were like, all right, let's do this. We walked down, and we started setting up, got everything working-ish. Still, I want to try to... I try to do this as professionally as I possibly can, and I'm very OCD and anal retentive about, how I'm going to present something, especially like this. So, I have all this gear that I brought with me, and we did as many tests as we could, and then I'm told that I will run into problems here and there, and I have to learn how to deal with it, and I guess that's what I got to do. So we had it set up. Penn was running the camera, and basically at Pack Mule, we had Saranda, Kyle Kaluta's fiance, with us that day, and one of my brothers, Jay, who was there for, keeping an eye on the ladies, because I don't need anybody to keep an eye on me. And I got to give everybody that was there that day that helped me out a ton of credit, and thank you so much. I wouldn't have been able to do a third of what I did without you. So a woman, one of these geriatric patients walks by me, and she's got a sign. And I was like, oh, this is a perfect opportunity to get my first interview. And the sign says, release the Epstein files now. Simple sign. And I said, hey, can I talk to you for a second? And she goes, yeah. And I said, that sign is something you and I can agree on. She goes, oh, it's good for you. I said, what? I was like, no, wait, hang on. I want to talk to you. She turns around and looks at me and points to the patch I have over my breast and says, I know what that patch means. I'm not talking to you. Now, the patch is a yellow patch with a blue border and blue writing. It says Patriot Guard Writer, because I've been a Patriot Guard Writer for 20 years. And that's all it says. It says Patriot Guard Writer. It's a folded flag, and it says writing with respect. That's it. That's all it says. Nothing else. Other than the pins that I have on the front. The Patriot Guard mission pins that I have underneath that. There's nothing else on the front of my vest. And she swore up and down that my patch meant something that it didn't. And I kept trying to say, hey, you don't know what this patch means. She goes, oh, yes, I do. I said, you have no idea what the fuck this patch means. And she goes, oh, I know. I'm not talking to you. I said, hey, see, I'm trying to have a conversation. You guys don't want. And I ran into that a lot that day. Because, I mean, we all know the way the left is. But I did run into some people who were willing to have a conversation. Well, 63-year-old vet named Kevin, he wanted to talk about ICE and how ICE shouldn't be masked up. And we had a really good conversation about that. And, you know, we saw eye to eye on it afterwards. Like he was obviously under the misunderstanding of why ICE is masking up. And, you know, when I started talking to them about, you know, these guys are doing a job, they're getting doxxed, their families lives are at risk. And, you know, I said to him at some point, it was, you know, if they can kill Charlie Kirk, then they'll kill an ICE agent easily, or his family. These guys should have a level of anonymity. And you could see it in his eyes, just the conversation, and the people that were standing around me saw it. You know, he didn't want to acquiesce to that, but he did eventually. You could see the fight going on, and it was good that he could see that. And then this clip that I'm going to show right now is Lady Liberty comes up to me, and I was like, all right, I want to take it. And these people wanted me to take a picture with Lady Liberty. So let me bring that up right now. And this is what happened when I took a picture with Lady Liberty. Let's see. Oh, there's the play button. Awesome. All right, so I'm taking a picture with Lady Liberty right now, and she says, I should be home smoking weed and cleaning, but fucking Nazis ruined my whole weekend. Show me where the Nazis are and we can smash them. Like the actual Nazis, so you can go home and smoke weed and clean. All right. Where are the Nazis? Am I a Nazi?
Are you here to disagree?
I absolutely disagree.
Oh, awesome. Have a great day. I'm with you. All right.
But I'm also here to try to have conversation with people and try to find common ground. But nobody wants to do that. So, yeah. As soon as I told her I disagreed with her, and she didn't want to have that conversation. And then shortly after that, we had I guess you could say, female to male trans come up to me and want to have a conversation. This woman, because I'm not, fuck the pronouns, and I'm not going to, you know, play into your mass delusion. But that said, we had a really good conversation about transing children, and what she said might surprise you. No, that one's not it. You know, I should mark these and be like, hey. No, not that one. One of these days, ladies and gentlemen, I will get this right. Okay, hold on. Let's bring that up because that's the beginning of it. This is Crow. And she and I had I think we had like a 45-minute discussion. There's a lot more to this and oddly enough, she agreed with probably about 90% of the things I was talking about, which would shock people. And this is really what I wanted to do that day. Now, granted, I was waiting for Antifa to fuck with me because I need some cathartic ass kicking, but nobody did, oddly enough. But I really actually enjoyed this conversation.
Have body parts cut off at 8 years old?
Well, so what I want to mention is that body parts aren't cut off at 8 years old.
There's plenty of evidence that Boston Children's have already done fucking double mastectomies on 12-year-old girls.
Okay.
That's proven.
So
that's not an argument. I'm not giving you a shit for your time. I'm trying to have this conversation with you because you know what? You're a grown-ass adult. You're 23 years old. You can make the decision for yourself. I disagree with you.
Yes.
But you make the decision. You love who you love. You do whatever the fuck you want to do.
And I appreciate that.
When you come after fucking children, you're going to make me an enemy.
Yeah, so
anybody that's under 18 years old, you try to trans a kid, I'm going to fuck you up.
So
if I got to do it publicly, if I got to do it, verbally, obviously. But my point is, I don't mean you.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, at 18 years old, you have a right to decide what you want to do with your body. You have no right to choose for an 8-year-old or a 5-year-old.
Yes. No. No. So I don't think that anyone should be pushing an ideology of any gender onto their kid. Period.
I agree.
Period.
Thank you very much.
But that includes that includes cis people. And what I'm trying to
I don't.
Okay.
That doesn't work with me.
So trans means trans. You know what that means?
No, I know cis is bullshit.
Yeah.
Right. No, like that. I don't subscribe to the whole cis bullshit.
Okay.
I'm just a normal human being. I'm a man. That's it.
So
I'm not a cis man. I'm just a man.
No. I understand that you feel that way.
No, I know that. It's not that feel. It's I exist in a man's body and I'm not cis.
Okay. So the reason why I was calling you cisgender, which I'm sorry if I offended you.
It absolutely didn't offend me. But the point is I'm not going to I think you're a woman. I'm going to say that you're a woman.
No, I just mean that in chemistry class, because my dad teaches organic chemistry. The prefix cis means on the same, and then trans means on opposite.
So that was my conversation. That was part of my conversation with. And it was a very long, good conversation. I would say probably 40, 45 minutes, easy. What I have next is audio from the Spaces, and I don't know exactly what this one is.
But they want us to be divided because they don't want us looking at them through a fucking microscope. And by them, I'm talking about the Uniparty. I'm talking about the New World Order. Look up George Bush's New World Order, George Bush Sr. Well, they're the ones that control everything, dude. But real conservatives like me, constitutional conservatives, look at those people as the enemy too. And that's something that we can find common ground on. But it's not only but a lot of the people on the left think it's just all of the right that's like that. You guys aren't saying that, but I'm letting you know that for the most part, any of these guys will tell you straight out that it's all the Republican billionaires. Well, I think that about both. And yes, we do think that about the left. I think that about Bernie. I think that. What? Yeah, we think that about, for most of the people that I deal with, and obviously I'm a very small microcosm of conservatives, but the people that I deal with and the people that are in this space right now, we're all constitutional conservatives. So we believe in smaller government, maximum freedom. That is the number one core tenet of being a conservative. Smaller government. Phones at 5%? All right. Actually, yeah, hold on. You got one? Okay. So we believe in smaller government, maximum freedom, period. I don't think anybody on our side believes that it's all of the left. We believe that there is a we believe that the swamp is on both sides. Two sides of the same coin that are controlling everything that we do day in and day out. We call that the uniparty, the swamp, whatever the fuck you want, whatever name, the Illuminati, whatever fucking name you have for it. There is one controlling group in this world that have all the money. They have all what I'm here for.
So this was me having a conversation with two 18-year-old students at Boston College, which was a great conversation. I wish the audio on their end was better. I guess you live and you learn, and next time it's just going to be better. We'll have all the audio issues worked out because, yes, ladies and gentlemen, there will be a next time. I have plans on going to a couple of places real soon. And let me get back to, before we go to our studio audience. So at one point when the stage was going, now they had the Attorney General on the stage. They had the Mayor Wu on the stage. They had some band. I have no idea who it was. And they were all, fight the power, fight the man, blah, 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 all the bullshit you would normally hear at these things. And I said, fuck it. And I grabbed my phone and I walked through the crowd. I started at the end of the crowd and walked right through the very center of it, around to the side, and then up right in front of the stage. Walked right through the crowd of all of those Democrats and psychotic liberals. Not one person said boo to me. Nobody. And I was like, oh, all right. Well, and I just meandered through the crowd. I kind of like made a little snake through the crowd. And I said, well, this is uneventful. They're obviously not going to talk to me right now because they're too busy listening to the idiots that were on the stage. And so I decided I was going to walk over where I think it's the ice skating rink. And people at that point started sneering at me. And I was getting text messages and saying that there was 25 Antifa looking for me and they had concrete milkshakes. I said, all right, cool. Let's go to where Antifa is. And they were at the monument that's basically in the center. So I walked around the monument and there was your typical dog masks, which you definitely have a mental problem if you're wearing one of those things. So I sat down on one side of it, and there was a band playing, and the band stopped playing, and people meandered over to the other side. So I was like, all right, fine, let's go over to the other side. Went over to the other side, went up the 2 steps, and sat down right in the middle of them all. People just didn't know what to make of me. And then there was a trans person thing, whatever, above me. I couldn't tell when it went from one to the other. It didn't matter. But what they were doing, in one hand they were flying a Antifa flag, the black and red flag, and because Antifa doesn't exist. And the other hand they were flying a flag that says Communist Party of America with the hammer and the sickle on it. It was all red flag. And we do have that on video, and I will be cutting that together, or Penn will be at some point this week, so I can put it up so you guys can see it. And I was like, oh man, you got to get. And Jay was with me, and he had one of the phones that was doing the live, and he got a shot of that. And then there was another. I don't know what the hell it was, but they were saying kill all the fascists and blah blah blah. So I sat there and I waited and I waited and I waited and I waited, and nobody came at me. There was no 25 Antifa with milkshakes coming anywhere near me. And somebody had said something at one point, well, why are you here? And I said, well, I want to have a conversation with people. And then I had a very good conversation with an older gentleman who we did not align on anything at all. I don't don't think. And but he was there holding an American flag that was his grandfather's. So, and him and I had a probably 40-minute conversation. There was another young kid that was there. He looked like he had no idea why he was there. It looks like he was told to be there. I don't want to say that he was autistic, but and at some point when myself and this other gentleman were talking, you could just see like the look on his face, and he started asking questions because he didn't know any of this. And you could also tell that a lot of these younger kids are being force-fed this, whether it be through social media, whether it be through, friends, neighbors, family, school, especially school. And he had it in his head that all conservatives were bad. And him and I were talking too, and he's like, and everything I said, every question he asked of me, and I answered it, and I answered it as, obviously as honestly as possible, because there isn't anything other than honesty. And I said, I do consider myself somebody who speaks for constitutional conservatives because I believe in the Constitution, and I believe in what true conservative values are, and I don't compromise on those, which is another thing that puts me at odds with most of the people that are on the Republican side, because I don't believe that Republicans are constitutional conservatives. And I've said this many, many, many times, and I get a lot of shit for it, and I don't care. It's the Constitution above all. It's the Constitution in this country and this country above party. Now, I vote Republican because they're the only party that closely aligns to my constitutional conservative values. And the kid was just really surprised about how calm I was and how good of a conversation we were having. And you could see like the light bulb turning on in his eyes. And at some point, like right at the very beginning, I think it was the conversation I had with Crow, because right after that I had a conversation, or it was right before that, I was having a conversation with this uppity fucking Irishman who was just a pretentious fucking asshole. And he would ask me a question and I'd go to answer it, and you'll see this on the video too. He'd just start talking over me and interrupting me because he didn't like what I was saying. And, pretending to be smarter than me, and he wasn't. He was actually fucking retarded. And that's when Crow stepped in, and I was kind of like, oh, saved by the tranny. Like it was so bad that I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna have a conversation with a tranny, and it's probably gonna go better than this fucking asshole. So
I'm back.
Yeah. There's number one tranny right there. Everybody, Enrique Terrio.
What's up?
What's up? So
said it 3 times.
Are you in the space?
Is that better? Space is better.
Yeah. So at that moment, like the conversation I had with Crow was when I really decided how I was gonna, because it was very early at the beginning of this, how I was going to conduct myself for the rest of the day. And I guess I surprised a lot of people in how I handled myself that day. Nobody would have expected me to be as calm and as forthcoming with the people that I was dealing with. And it actually felt pretty good, because I did have some good conversations. And then, I had people that didn't want anything to do with me because they saw my vest. And, literally what's on my vest is there's a patch on my right side that says Boston Strong, and it's a memorial patch for the Boston Marathon bombing. And on the back, it's a folded flag that says Patriot Guard Rider, right, and with respect. And there's a Vietnam POW, the Vietnam POW flag on the back that says I wasn't there, but I still care. And the only patch that could be any bit controversial would be the one patch I have on my left side that says the good I do is good, the bad I do is legendary, and it's just, obviously just to make people laugh, but it's definitely me. So, but nothing else. There's nothing. There was no Trump patches. Nothing. You know, the braids that go down the side, the laces that go down the side were red, white, and blue. But nothing else about me. Like I wasn't wearing a MAGA hat. I was wearing this critical mass hat. 1776 shop. Yeah, that's where you can get the hats and the shirts.
1776 official.
1776 official. All right. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, listen, I was fully prepared in my mind to get into a fight. I wasn't going to let anybody put their hands on me. I wasn't going to let anybody put their hands in my face. I wasn't going to let them throw fucking concrete shakes on me. Yeah, the only issue I had that day was Patty running his mouth saying that he was going to split my ball bag open. And I just said, I was like, wow, if that's your default, like, dude, you're gay. Like, you're really gay if my ball bag is in your brain to the point that you want to split it open. Like, that wouldn't be my default. That's the default of somebody who's like flamingly gay. Thinking about my balls. I'm glad my balls are on your mind, guy. But other than that, I didn't have any problems with anybody. Nobody even tried to come up to me sideways. Nobody tried to come up to me violently. And it was a very peaceful day. And I'm actually thankful for that. I really am. Now I know other No Kings protests. I know the one in LA was pretty violent. I know there was another one that was pretty violent. And Enrique, you didn't run into any violence in Miami, right?
I mean, not technically. I think the cops, City of Miami doesn't fuck around. So I think they did their job, and that's why there wasn't violence. Things got really hairy at the end. Before the cops told us, "Hey, look, bro, it's because as soon as the cops tell us something, they give us some time. Like we're used to dealing with them. As soon as it's getting, then we leave, and it's usually at the 2-hour mark. And I really don't want to be there past 2 hours, anyways. There's some dude. So it's if you put. So somebody put. Face. I think Barry had posted of it, and the first time I kind of laughed at, I said, was 13 because
bro, you're rugging pretty bad.
Okay, I don't know. You hear me?
Yeah, you're just rugging really bad. Can anybody else hear him?
All right.
Yes.
Yeah, he's breaking up though. Pretty bad.
Are you there, bro? All right, well, while Enrique figures his audio issues out, when he comes back, he'll talk about Miami a little bit. But yeah, I'll end this segment and we'll bring in some speakers, and to say that it was peaceful. There wasn't even a hint of violence that day, and oh yeah. There was, they were climbing the top of the monument, and one of these very soy-laden, estrogen-laden males jumped off, and there was a very audible snap when he landed. And I got up and I walked over to him and I looked at his ankle, and I was like, bro, you fucked yourself up, kid. And he goes, no, I'm fine. He tries to walk on it, and you could see like instant flush in the face. And everybody knows that pain, like when you're in a lot of pain. And it looked like tears were ready to squirt out of his eyes. I was like, dude, you need to sit down. And I said, somebody needs to get a medic over here because he's not going to be able to walk anywhere. And as I walked away, I was like, you can tell that dude does not have an ounce of testosterone in his body because his ankles looked like they were sticks. But yeah, no, he messed himself up, and I went over there and I tried to render as much aid as I possibly could. And, I guess that caught people off guard too. Like, why does somebody care? Because you know what? We do care. That's the thing. We do give a shit. We really don't want to see anybody fucking hurt. But for me, it's coming to that point. When they're capable of killing somebody over speech, there's nothing off the table anymore. And to that end, the conservatives everywhere, here on X, all around the country, we all need to come together, put our tiny little differences aside, our fucking egos aside. Because if we don't, they showed us on Saturday what they're capable of doing. Some people will say, well, Rob, they were paid to do that. Well, maybe they were. Maybe the payment was to get out of the old folks home for the day, and a free meal. I mean, we could do that. I'm sure we have plenty of donors that would donate to that. I'm sure that, if we came up with and we decided to have a freedom rally, to espouse how much we love this country, my buddy Aaron out of Texas tried to do a rally, and it was a nonpartisan rally. It was just for and only for property taxes in Texas, like rating and you would figure that was something that both the left and the right could come together on. And because Antifa decided they were going to do a No Kings protest in Austin, he only had 60 people show up because everybody else was too afraid. They literally said that they were afraid. What are we? Are we not supposed to be tough? Are we not supposed to be like manly men? I thought that's what conservatives were. I thought we were the ones that made fun of the left for being soy and being weak and words hurting their feelings. But did conservatives show up for that? They didn't. Not enough. And it wasn't even political. Some people will say that taxes are political, but ending property taxes in Texas should not be a political problem that causes division. It should be something we should all get together on, but we don't. And just like, and I hate to say it, but just like, Aaron's rally in Austin, I was there alone. I was there alone with two women. Me by myself with two women who had the fucking heart and the tenacity to walk through there with me. Everybody else I knew said that they were afraid. Literally said that they were afraid that they were going to get stabbed or they were going to get fucking arrested or... And you know what? A couple people were like, listen, man, if I get caught on video and I get doxxed, I could lose my job because my job is full of liberals. All right, that I get. But at the same time, all the ones that said that they weren't going to show up just because they were afraid. Fuck you. I got no use for you. You are the reason why we take the losses that we take. We should never be afraid of walking into these crowds ever at any time. You got Chad Keaton out in fucking Portland and Chicago fucking fearless. He didn't have muscle with him. He walked up to fucking everybody. He didn't give a shit who you were. He jumped into a crowd to stop them from burning the American flag. You know, you have him out there getting into these verbal confrontations with people, and there is no fear. Where are the rest of us? Why aren't the rest of us doing this? You're letting fear and apathy kill this party. And I'm personally tired of it. Conservatives, it's time to pull your head out of your ass. Because you know what? If we had 1,000, even 1,000 that day, 1,000 conservatives show up, set up a tent over by Tent Row, and talk about how much we love this country, they wouldn't know what to do. There still wouldn't be any violence. But I don't know. I don't know what it's going to take to get you motherfuckers off of your Barca loungers. I don't know what the fuck it's going to take for you guys to get outside and hit these streets. There was only me and two little women representing conservatives in Boston. And it was sad. Again, I was impressed by the turnout. Was not impressed by the message. In fact, everything that they said disgusted the shit out of me, to be quite honest with you. But time to show up, people. And with that, we're going to go to hands. And I want to real quickly shout out my thanks. First and foremost, I want to thank Conservative Penn for literally putting up with me. I'm not easy to deal with. I'm not. I want to thank Saranda for coming down, and when Penn needed a break, she became the pack mule and had the backpack on and allowed me to keep my hands free in case anything did happen. I want to thank my boy Mike Mack for running the space for me. Listen, he didn't have to do that. He had plans, and he put his personal plans on hold to help me out through this, stayed in the space the entire time, and I love him for that. I want to thank everybody that helped to step in to, co-host, and all the people that, came in and talked, and Miss G in my ear, which was pretty funny. I want to thank my buddy Buck for giving me his burner, because I don't have one. And I'm actually glad I didn't have to use it at all. Although it would be pretty funny to shoot him in the face with CS gas and watch the expression. I would think that was hilarious. But yeah, and at the end of the day, I met a bunch of cool people. I handed out my business card. I had a brilliant idea last minute, and Staples made it happen for me. Where I just it was a black business card with a QR code that goes to my X profile, and a lot of those people that I met. One gentleman at the end of the day walked up. He was wearing a 47 hat and a Charlie Kirk sweatshirt, and it was good to finally see some people, like me. But at that point, there was only three of us. So, conservatives, time to get off your ass. And with that, Penn, how are you?
Oh, I'm good. I'm just at senior photos with my kiddo.
Oh, okay. Do we have hands?
We do. We have Mr. M right now.
Mr. M, what's going on, brother?
Not a whole lot. What's going on, Rob, Enrique, Penn, Winona, and all you other fine folks in the space and on the live? Hey, I've got a question, a suggestion, and some shout-outs. Rob, question. Fine work you're doing. A lot of us lazies didn't get out, and I'll take that scolding right upside my face. I was on... in my defense, at a wedding that was the wedding was between a conservative and a liberal, which that right there should tell you something. So
doesn't the Bible call that being unequally yoked?
Yes, and I was going there looking to smash a face or two. I'm not going to lie, but hey, the father of the bride dyed his hair blue and yellow and orange. It was quite funny in his protest against the
What,
left.
he painted his hair the Ukrainian flag?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it was flipping epic, dude, but still couldn't get anybody riled up to throw hands. And that was with copious amounts of alcohol being ingested. But as far as the question goes, bro, I know a lot of people that are watching this. They believe in what you're doing. They want to support you. And I need to know where I can send some funds, bro, to the cause. That's the question.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
The suggestion is, here's the suggestion. I put it in the Purple Pill on Saturday when the live was going on. I couldn't speak because, like I said, I was helping set up a wedding. I say we take a helmet, we put it on Penn, mount a Starlink Mini to it, and I guarantee that right there, in and of itself, would fund you for the next year. That would take care of your fiscal funding.
Penn needs a helmet anyway.
Yeah, but I would love to see Penn with that Starlink Mini on top of that helmet, just be bopping around.
Oh my God, Penn, that would be a great photo op, don't you think?
Done.
I don't know if she likes that or not, but
all right.
Shout outs go. Here goes the shout out real quick. The shout out goes to all of the influencers that we have, if you want to call them that, here on X. Because I was watching K's, Drax. There were tons of other accounts that were streaming, and you were talking about 100,000 or more there. Bro, I suffice to say, just from my redneck math, you probably had over 100,000 watching the live, bro. And that is doing something. And with that, I'll shut my pie hole.
All right. Well, to answer your question, I'll go to Penn.
Yes. So here's the thing. We are not going to really do the Give, Send, Go until next week. We want Kyle Wayne out. But what I am going to do is send it to your DM, Mr. M. Rob just wants to wait and really make sure that Saranda and everyone is taken care of first.
Yes, and that is another fine point. Saranda, we love you. We love Kyle. Don't even know you personally, honey, but I'll tell you right now, people, get off your fourth point of contact. I'm trying not to cuss as much these days. My grandkids are making me do a swear jar, but they want $5 per swear, so I'm going to go broke as shit. But anyway, yeah, Kyle Wayne, sounds like he's getting out. If you haven't donated to that, I'm calling you a wimp, punani, whatever you want to take it as. Pony up, because just like Saranda had said in a post, they're not just going after Kyle Wayne. If it starts out right there in that little podunk police department, then they're just going to keep pushing. They're going to keep going from city to county to state, and it will just bleed over like a freaking virus, man. So jump in and help her out.
Yeah, I'm really glad that there's Saranda right there. I'm really glad that the judge in that case decided they were going to err on the side of, well, this is getting big and this is getting public, and I don't want the shit flung at me. Although, per Massachusetts, they say, hey, we have this amount to get him out, which should be more than enough to get somebody with no criminal record out. And they went, we're still going to fuck with you and we're going to double it. And that's exactly what they did.
That is what they did. But we got a new judge this time, and it's a bit of a judicial hot potato, somebody pointed out, because I think you're right. There is a tension on it, and nobody wants to get caught holding the bag. But we're going to catch them anyway. But you guys have made this would not have been possible without everybody here in these spaces. And I don't know you either, but I love you back. I swear. Because without this help, without this community, like, my real life would be absolutely ruined. This is not just social media. This is real life. And yeah, people get out and go to these protests and talk to people like Rob was doing. I was so proud of you the other day and happy to be a part of it. And also will volunteer to wear a helmet.
With a Starlink Mini on it?
Yeah, or a GoPro, you know?
Yeah, we got to get...
You have Peg with the Starlink and me with the GoPro, and we'll just walk around.
Oh my God, that would be freaking hilarious. Can we put like a little whirly birds on it too?
Yeah, totally.
Hey, one more thing. Now that you mentioned old the wannabe Peter Pan there, but when I was watching that, you were over there, like that dude just jumped off of there, and I'm like, the movie came to mind. The other guys with freaking Mark Wahlberg and what's his face? Oh look, he's flying. That's all that I kept thinking about.
That was the epitome of hilarity right there. Like that dude, that should, like any man, even me in my 50s, I could have made that jump and just kind of been like, oh, all right, cool. It wasn't very far, and it was just, and then, you know, as much as my inside wanted to laugh, I actually kind of felt bad for him. I mean, I wanted to like give him my diet, be like, all right, listen, go on the carnivore for like 3 months. You'll get a bunch of testosterone and your bones won't be so fucking brittle. But no, it actually took them a really long time to get EMS up there, and they pulled him away on him like a side by side, and I think they brought him to an ambulance. But yeah, no, that was pretty funny. You know, the people that were at the monument, man, that was where Antifa decided they were going to be. The Antifa didn't really commingle with the other ones, and I kind of call the other ones normies. You know, like the old people that were in front of the stage listening. The Antifa group didn't want anything to do with that. They wanted to take over that monument and fly. And nobody in the crowd, I mean, obviously everything they were saying was anti-American sentiment, you know, down with Trump and Trump's fascist and fuck ICE and, you know, all the shit, right? But none of them were flying fucking communist flags. Most of those people that were down by the stage, if they had a flag, it was an American flag. And then there was one guy who was walking through the crowd. He probably had about 20 flags, and they were all upside down. And if anybody knows, that just means that, you know, you're under duress or distress. And, you know, when they're flying it, they feel that America is under distress because our president is a fascist. But whatever, that was fine. Nobody burned a flag. Nobody stepped on a flag, which, again, I was very happy to see. But again, the Antifa contingent, the couple of hundred Antifa kids, AV kids, they were all at the monument, and they were flying their communist flags and their Antifa flags. So, and they didn't do anything. They just looked really stupid. I got a lot of video of those idiots.
Yeah, I can imagine the only duress that those geriatrics were under was eating Mexican the night before that protest and worrying about their defense building up, trying to find an outhouse.
Amen.
Mr. M, that's fucking hilarious, bro. Yeah, I mean, it was. I guess every old person's home in the state was emptied out to go into in Boston Common that day. But again, all of them had homemade signs. That Lady Liberty who said that she should be home cleaning and smoking weed, but because we have a fascist dictator, a Nazi dictator. Yeah. I don't know, man. There were some creative costumes there. I can tell you that.
I was waiting for you to pan over for the EMS to show up when you were talking about not touching the Peter Pan there.
Yeah.
And all I pictured was, you know, two little rascal scooters, two people that were, get the hell out of the way. I was a medic at Woodstock. And then the Ghostbusters siren going as they were pulling up.
That that would have been pretty funny. That would have absolutely been fucking hilarious. But yeah, man, I had a fucking good time. I know that people are going to be like, well, Patriot Rob said he had a good time at a No Kings rally. It didn't suck. I hated the people. I hated their message. I hated everything that I hate everything that they stand for, because it's diametrically opposed to what I believe and what most conservatives believe as American values and Western civilization. They want to see the downfall of it, and they want to, remake it in into their myopic utopia. It's like part of what I wrote today was going to be my monologue at the beginning, but something else came into my head, which usually happens. So, but yeah, I mean, but the people I did talk to, other than one, I had really good conversations with these people, and it's good to see, as black-pilled as I am, and as much of a misanthrope as I can be, I don't want to believe that we are so far divided that we can't have conversation. I mean, I know in my heart, the majority of them you can't talk to. And you could see that in the video all day long. You could see the people that just looked at me and said, oh, I'm not having a conversation with him. And I don't know what they assumed. Maybe they assumed that I was wearing a Proud Boy patch. It does start with Patriot, where it starts with the letter P, and like Gavin once said, liberals are lazy, and they don't want to put the effort into actually researching anything. They just want to be spoon-fed in everything that they believe and everything that they say. So I can only assume that she thought that my patch was a Proud Boy patch. I don't know. They don't look anything alike other than the color yellow. So yeah, no, other than the people that didn't want, I had a couple of sneers and snickers when I was walking through the fucking where the ice rink is. Other than that, I had a good time, and and I guess that's better than having a bad time, and because a bad time would have been me, I don't know, getting into a fight, going to jail. And at one point I decided I wasn't going to wear my body armor. I know everybody was fucking mad at me. I got so many text messages because I actually opened up my vest and I unbuttoned my shirt and I said, I'm not wearing my fucking body armor because I ain't afraid of none of you motherfuckers. And my phone started blowing up. Rob, why aren't you wearing your fucking body armor? What the fuck is wrong with you? I said, because you know what? I haven't run into anybody all day. And then when we were getting close to the end of the day, I said, I haven't run into anybody all day that was even had a hint of violence about them. So to show them that I wasn't thinking about violence, I just said, fuck it. And I unbuttoned my shirt and I said, well, I'm not wearing body armor. I don't know, man. It was disheartening for me, and then I do see a hand. We'll go to Jeff in a second. It was disheartening for me to see that these people can activate the way they do, and we are literally just sitting with our thumbs up our asses, and I hate it. I hate seeing it. I really want to do a freedom rally. I want my own kind to prove me wrong. I don't know if I have the wherewithal to put something like that together, but I am going to be thinking about it quite a bit. And I think I'm going to plan something for the late spring, somewhere big. And this is just formulating in my head. And I want 100,000 plus conservatives to come to this thing. I'm going to give it fucking 4 or 5 months for people to plan to go to this thing. And I want to see our side turn out with a big, huge middle finger to the left. You guys can do it. So can we. Jeff, what's going on, brother?
Just listening to everything that's going on. Hope everybody's doing good. But you know the No Kings rally is basically everybody that works for the government. Yeah, and a lot of those people are losing their jobs with the Doge cut. Yeah. The Washington Department of Education and so on and so forth. But I think that these guys don't understand that right now, Rob, we're at all-out war against the fentanyl and human traffickers and the dealers from the Panama Canal all the way forward and on the other side of Argentina. So I just don't understand the people at these rallies don't even understand what's going on. That's sad.
Well, Jeff, I don't know if they don't know what's going on. Maybe some of them do, but these people know in their head somehow, some way, they're convinced that Trump is a fascist dictator. And where that comes from, I'm fucking clueless, to be quite honest with you. Nothing about him to me says fascist dictator.
Trump's in the tourism business, Rob. He's not a defense contractor. He makes money off of people going on vacation. I tend to agree with you. War is the last thing that makes a guy like President Trump money, period.
Rob, are you there?
I think he had to take a phone call.
Guys, copy me 5x5. Cap, you copy?
Yes. He may have gotten a call, so stand by, everyone.
Standing by.
Mr. M, why don't you sing for us?
Oh boy.
Well, I mean, you wanted me to wear a helmet, so, give me some
Penn,
incentive.
you know good and well you would look good wearing that helmet. And then the thing is, just take and put little GoFundMe barcodes on it for shoes.
And you know what? That is so smart. I think I might actually do that. I'm going to need money anyways because I'm watching my child get her senior photos done right now, and I know it's going to be expensive. So,
Well, there you go.
yeah.
So you can just throw a Venmo barcode of Cash App, PayPal, whatever the other ones are. I don't know the rest of them. Shit, I'm old.
Maybe I need to start shilling for Israel.
I have a question
Absolutely, Kat. Go on.
because I'm fatigued. I really am. To the ladies, what is a hacksaw specifically used for?
A hacksaw?
Yes.
I don't know.
You've seen that.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I would use it if I would use it to cut up a body.
Okay. No, hey, you're not wrong.
Allegedly.
You do not use it to cut wood.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean,
A body?
Cap, you seen that same one I just seen earlier where that girl was
my
working that
Damn.
wood?
You got to be kidding me, man. I mean,
Holy smokes.
wow.
That was hilarious, dude. She ran the hacksaw all the way down the board, and then it stopped, and then she didn't know what to do.
Gee, I wonder why it stopped. It doesn't even dawn on her why it stopped cutting.
so
whatever.
it would cut through a body, though, allegedly.
I don't
It'll
see
take
why
some
it
time. It just
Yeah.
depends on what blade you put in it, right?
wouldn't. Yeah, exactly. You're gonna
What
need
what kind of
coarse
blade would one
You're gonna
need
You're gonna
for
need a really
scientific purposes?
a real coarse blade, one with big teeth.
Okay.
And if you're going to do that, I recommend what's called a bow saw. That gives you more room to work.
Yeah, the old bow saw. Yep.
Do they make those like in like automatics or manuals or?
Sawzall.
It's just a hand-operated saw.
Yeah,
so you
that's
can
it.
actually
I'm back.
take
Sorry about
pride
that,
in your
guys.
work.
I would get blisters.
You
Okay.
just gotta get. Well, then use a chainsaw. They work really good.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah. Anyways,
Ouch.
I was
Rob,
told, allegedly told. I'm not going to admit to any of that.
yeah. Don't worry about this conversation, Rob. It's fine. Everything's fine.
An hacksaw was originally created for cutting through metal.
Trust me, Rob. You don't want to know.
All right. Well, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to end the live and I'm going to concentrate on the space. Thank you guys for watching the show today. That's really all I got. And everybody that's watching, seriously, we really need to talk about getting off our asses and doing something because we can't let them show us up like that, man. We have a way bigger contingent behind this, and we just got to activate. So, you guys have a great day. Thank you for joining. And I will be back on Friday with my show. And then I have some seriously awesome guests coming up. A couple of really big surprises. And I can't wait to announce those. So tune in. Thank you guys. Have a great night.